Hey guys, this is Nod Lammers of Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today we're doing another Dark Neostorm deck profile, or at least a deck that got buffed by Dark Neostorm, and that is Burning Abyss. Now, when I originally recorded this video, I didn't feel super confident that this was the way to build Burning Abyss, but I play tested it just a little bit, did some test hands with it, experimented, and I found out that this is actually a pretty okay build of Burning Abyss. I quite like this version, and this is a PK Fire. The reason I decided to go with PK Fire for Burning Abyss, because it has a million variations, is Cherubini. Cherubini came out in Dark Neostorm, and it makes it's basically extra copies of Rusty Bardich, but it now in a Link 2 form, so I decided to go with Cherubini for this. Not Cherubini, the PK Fire for this one, but and we'll go through everything, so. But real quick, there's a link to our Patreon down in the description. Anything you back us with on there goes right back in the deck profiles. There's also a link to our Discord in the description, and the general chat is open to the public. Alright, let's move the spells and traps and extra deck off to the side, and we'll zoom in just a bit, and we'll talk about the main deck monsters. So to start us off, we have triple Skarm Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. So when talking about Burning Abyss, I'm gonna only really mention their unique effects, because every Burning Abyss monster shares two effects, which is that if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss, destroy this card. And then their other effects are that if you have no spells and traps, you can special summon them. But you can only the special summon effect and the unique effect are a once per turn. Like, you can't do both in one turn. You have to pick one. So it's either you special summon them or you use their graveyard effect. And Skarm's graveyard effect is that during the end phase, you get to search a level 3 Dark Fiend. And then next up, we have triple Farfa. Farfa's unique effect is that when he's sent to graveyard, you get to banish a card your opponent controls until the end phase. I think it's card. One monster, not card. And then next up we have double Libic of the Burning Abyss. If he's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Burning Abyss monster from your hand, but negate its effects. So thus it won't kill itself off its own effect. And then two Barbar. Barbar's effect is that you can banish, when he's sent to graveyard, you can banish up to 3 Burning Abyss monsters, except for Barbar, and inflict 300 damage per Burning Abyss monster banished. And then we have one Graph and one Seer. So these two are the limited ones, and these guys are really good. What Graph does is he summons one from the deck when he's sent from grave, and what Seer does is he summons a Burning Abyss from the graveyard. Seer clearly being, in my opinion, I think Seer is a little bit better than Graph, but you gotta play both because both are equal in utility. And then we play one Alich. This one negates a monster's effect, kind of like an effect veiler. And then one of the Tuner, because I wanted to play the Tuner in the deck. So he doesn't have a unique effect except that he locks you into playing Burning It. Like, he can only be a Tuner for a Burning Abyss thing. That's it for the Burning Abyss names. Then we have the kind of like honorary Burning Abyss cards, which is triple Rhino Warrior. Rhino Warrior's effect is that Fiend type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, including their own, which is pretty dope. And then if he's sent to the graveyard, you can send one Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. So he's basically a Burning Abyss, just not dark. And after him, we have one copy of Tour Guide, who special summons a level 3 Fiend from the deck, but it can't be used as synchro material, so it's like whatever. And then lastly, one Fabled Sulcus. This is it lets you discard 2 cards to the graveyard, and then you special summon this back from the dead. So he's pretty, he has like a 2200 body, so he's pretty okay. He's pretty good, just to get extra attack points on board. Next up, we have the Phantom Knight monsters, which is 3 boots. This card special summons itself if you control a Phantom Knight's monster, and then you can banish him from the graveyard to search a spell or trap, I think. Is it search a spell or trap or send a spell trap? Yeah, you search a spell or trap for Phantom Knights. And then after that, we play 3 Ancient Cloak. If you really want to, you can play a Gloves over the 3rd Ancient Cloak. I know that some people do that. I like playing the 3 Ancient Cloak. Just because I think I like these guys a little bit more. But Ancient Cloak, his effect is that you can turn him to defense mode and give like a Dark Warrior 800 attack or something like that. But his real effect is that when he's in the graveyard, you can banish him from the graveyard and search any Phantom Knights card, which is pretty dope. That's it for the Phantom Knights monsters. And then 1 Effect Veiler and 1 Doggerin for the Kaiju. These are just some like kind of free spaces that these could be like ashes or veilers or whatever you need them to be. Next up for the spells and traps. We're going to start with the traps just because I feel they're more important to the deck. We have triple Phantom Knights Fogblade. This is your main trap for the deck. It can be a defensive card, but it can also be a stun card where it prevents your opponent's monster's effects from activating or attacking, but on the reverse end of that, you can't attack that monster, but it's no big deal. And then if this card is in the graveyard, you can banish it and special summon a Phantom Knights from your graveyard. After that, we have 1 Shade Brigandine. This thing is used as an extender. Basically, how you use it is you use Cherubini to send one of the 2 Phantom Knights. You search this off of either of them, and then you set it and immediately summon it, and then use this and Cherubini to go into Bardiche. But this also can help you set up for Silent Boots, because if you control this as a monster, you can special summon it as Silent Boots. And the reason you can special summon this on turn 1 is because if you have no traps in your graveyard, you can activate this the turn it's set, which is pretty dope. 1 Phantom Knight's Wing. This is another kind of like just booster card to buff Dante and stuff like that. And then some recovery. This is 2 Mist Claws. I know not everyone plays the Mist Claws. I think it's kind of neat. Just to help refill your hand and stuff like that, and also potentially give you another body if need be. And that's it for the traps. Just playing all Phantom Knights traps. And then for spells, not playing too many spells, but we're playing triple Allure because the entire deck is like dark except for like Effect Veiler and Rhino Warrior. So Allure is like amazing in here. And then we're also playing 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Foolish Burial. I figured if you only have like extra spots for 3 spells, why not play some of like the best spells in the game? So searching Phantom Knights, sending Phantom Knights or Burning Abyss, and then recurring stuff. So very good in my opinion. That's it for the main deck. Main deck is it's only 40 cards. I didn't feel like I needed to play any more than that. The extra deck is where I'm kind of like a little iffy on it because there is stuff I want to add to it, but I'm still experimenting with it, and I haven't had anything like in test hands that I absolutely needed. So the first card, of course, is the new one. This is the card that everyone's talking about. This is Cherubini, Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. This card is awesome. It's also really pretty as a secret rare. Everyone knew it was going to be a secret rare, which is kind of like, it's great. It's great. But anyway, it needs 2 level 3 monsters, and it says monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card would be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard instead. You can send 1 level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard, then target a Burning Abyss monster on the field. It gains attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of the monster sent to the graveyard until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect with Cherubini once per turn. So what's really cool is that this really does support Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, and the fact that if you summon your Burning Abyss monsters to the zones it points to, your monsters can't be destroyed by card effects, making sending stuff like Graph or Seer really impactful for when you bring them back and you have Phantom Knight stuff on the field. It's really good. After her, we have 2 Rusty Bardiche. So Bardiche is another Foolish Burial, so it says he needs 2+ dark monsters. Cherubini is a link 2, so you can go into Cherubini, get it out another dark monster, and link into this. His effect is during your main phase, you can send 1 Phantom Knights monster from your deck to the graveyard, then set 1 Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. If a dark Xyz monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to while this card is on the field, except during damage step, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Bardiche once per turn. So just a very neat monster overall. And here's where the stuff that I'm like, I could cut this probably comes in, which is Wee Witch. This is mostly just to go into Bardiche. It's kind of acting as like another pseudo Cherubini, even though it's not as good. 1 Underclock Taker. This is for the old Dante Beatrice combo. And then 1 Isolde. This is mostly for Phantom Knights, but since we're not playing any equips, this could honestly probably go. And that's it for the links. After that, we have the Xyz monsters. I don't know. We are still playing Triple Dante just because this guy's awesome. What he does, if you don't know what Dante does, he mills up to 3 for cost. So even if you Effect Veiler him, they can still send 3 from the top of their deck, which is a little ridiculous, but it's whatever. And then he gains 500 attack per card sent this way. And if he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Burning Abyss monster from your graveyard to your hand, except for Dante, which is pretty good. And then one Lady B, you rank her up. She's a Foolish Burial on your opponent's turn. You rank Dante up into her by discarding a Burning Abyss monster, which is pretty cool. But yeah, she's only at 1, so we only play 1. And then if she dies by battle or card effect, you get to summon 1 Burning Abyss. I think it's 1 Dante monster, right? By battle, you can special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So no, she doesn't just summon Dante. She can summon the other stuff. After that, double Break Sword. I'm pretty sure you could just play 1 if you really want to. And 1 Leviair, which Leviair, if you don't know what he does, you detach 1, target a banished monster, and special summon it. You could cut this guy if you really want to. I'm just, like I said, this is just kind of like, prototype deck list. I'm just kind of messing around with the ratios right now. And then that's it for the Xyz monsters. And lastly, for the bonus stuff, we are playing 1 Virgil, Virgil is kind of like pretty good. His effect is you can only control 1 Virgil. Once per turn, you can discard a Burning Abyss card and target a card your opponent controls, or in the graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Virgil once per turn. And he has 2,500, so he's like kind of big, and he's kind of neat, so I figured I might as well play him. And then lastly, 1 Dante Pilgrim. He has 2,800, he lets you draw cards by discarding and Burning Abyss stuff. He's basically just big, and then it's like, hang on. Can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. Once per turn during any player's turn, send a Brie to your hand, draw a card. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, or if this card is sent to your graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can send 1 random card from opponent's hand to the graveyard. So, pretty big boss monster. They basically summon this guy if Beatrice dies, and then you can synchro summon into this. And that's it for the deck. That's it. It's pretty neat. Test hands, I've made like Bardich and Beatrice with 2 Fogblades set. So in testing, it seems to be working, or at least in test hands, it seems to be working pretty all right. I'm gonna zoom out just a bit, which is good. I like that, obviously. But it is still a bit of a work in progress deck as we figure out how to play Burning Abyss this format with the new card. But anyways, tell me what you guys thought about this deck profile in the comments below. Of course, while you're down there, in the description there is a link to our Discord, a link to our Patreon. Anything you back us with on there goes right back in the deck profiles. And I will see you guys in the next video.